So I've been a fan of these videos from the creator, Shauna, for a long time. And this is the first time that I've seen her videos touch on a really significant issue of domestic violence. The story that was posted is essentially Shauna, the character, not the creator, the character is married to John. They have a child that is going to start elementary school and is going to his first day of kindergarten. John is estranged from his mother, Barb, and Shauna's mother at this time has temporarily moved in to help with her as she is going to be bringing in a new child. So Shauna's currently pregnant, and they have not told Barb because she has a very toxic relationship with her children, and she has been very emotionally and verbally abusive. Now, John has cut off ties for the time being with Barb, but at this time, he was actually talking about trying to reintroduce himself to his mother as long as she got therapy. She crosses the line and crosses boundaries that he has tried to set with his mother. So she comes to the home of John and Shauna, and again, Shauna's mother is currently staying with them. Well, Shauna's mother, Dee Dee, answers the door and kindly tells her that the boundary that the children have set, so the parents, Barb can't see the grandchildren. That's something that she needs to discuss with her son. Barb goes as far as to attack Dee Dee, and there's a witness to it. It's now crossed the line from verbal and emotional abuse of the family members over into a physical assault. And this is where things kind of get scary, because not only does she physically assault Shauna's mom, but she shows up at the school for their kindergartner. So Shauna and John are at the school, and they see John's mom pulling up and destroying this core memory, not only for the child, but for John. This is his child's first day of school, and this is something you see a lot with narcissistic abuse. They make it about themselves. It's, why can't I be involved? Why don't you want me? Why don't you let me be a part of your life? Even though they have taken no accountability for their behavior and have continued to escalate. And this is exactly what's happened here. So I see a lot of people in the comments saying that they're hoping to see John get a restraining order against his mother. And I'm going to tell you why that doesn't work. Because realistically, he's already talking about wanting to move. Moving isn't going to work either. He can file a police report, and in this circumstance, I kind of think that would be necessary. His mother's crossed a boundary. She's now physically assaulted a member of their family. It absolutely needs to be recorded, family or not. Once that line has been crossed, police have to be involved. And yeah, a domestic violence restraining order and starting that process, great. But there's also the added difficulty of, okay, well, how do I enforce this? Could this actually make things worse? Which is actually a possibility, considering that Frank, who is John's dad, wants to have a relationship with his son, and it could cause a rift in their relationship. And again, as a domestic violence and family law attorney, I would encourage somebody who would come to me in this scenario to file a domestic violence restraining order, because it does add a level of protection. But outside looking in, you also have to think about the potential consequences to other relationships, not just the relationship between John and his mother, Barb, but also the relationship between him and Frank. And, Frank is staying married to Barb if he was to leave her, which honestly I think might be the best idea. It could end up causing more problems than solving them. And with Frank, there's a lot of people in the comments that I've noticed are victim blaming Frank without recognizing that if he was a woman in that position, they would say that he is the victim and excuse his avoidant behavior where he doesn't really tell Barb that she's doing something wrong, doesn't hold her really accountable, and kind of avoids the conversation of, no, this is what you're doing. It's not we, it's you. You're the problem here. But you have to realize he has also dealt with the verbal and emotional abuse. He has dealt with all these same problems that his son is dealing with, that his daughter deals with. And you can't really expect him to just one day after, over 20 years of experiencing this, decide that he's going to either, one, get up and leave, or two, confront her. Him being a man doesn't change the natural emotional reaction of being berated, of being, abused verbally and emotionally for years. It causes a person to shut down, even a man. And that's what we're seeing here is, John's dad, Frank, is really just trying to avoid problems. He's trying to keep the peace. And John blames him for not really doing anything, not stepping in, not trying to help bridge the gap between him and his mother. But you also can't expect that of him, knowing that he's also experienced the abuse. Could it be excused if he had left Barb? Perhaps. But given the scenario, he does still love Barb, and we don't know if there's been any physical abuse there. I'm assuming there hasn't been. Maybe that'll be part of the story in the future. But I think it's wrong to blame Frank, considering that he's also experienced a lot of what John's experiencing. So I'm looking forward to the next part of the story. I watch these every single time they come out, so I'm actually really excited that it's taken this crazy turn. I can't wait to see it.